no, you sit down,
Yeah.
sit down. I said, don't make me get the kryptonite. Sit down.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is that the, because you guys in the group chat were talking about the that they're doing the red something in Flash. Is that like their equivalent of a Tower of Babel? Is that what you're talking about?
no, so what they're doing in Flash is they're doing Red Death, and in the comics, Red Death is in the dark. And I'm not 100% up on it, but from what I've read, the Red Death is from the Dark universe, the Dark Knight's Metal universe.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that is a version where pretty much like the heroes all lose and all the infinite Earths in the Dark universe.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, right there. And the Red Death is Batman who lost his partners, like I'm assuming to like the Joker or just his various rogues, and he kind of like pleads with Barry Allen to go back in time and save everything. And Barry, he's like, no, 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 it's not how it works. Time's going to bite you in the ass if you do that. And then that Earth's Bruce Wayne basically says, all right, well, I asked nicely once. And then somehow he knocks out the Flash, straps him to the hood of a Batmobile. And because he's Bruce Wayne and Batman and can just figure anything out, he guns it and somehow taps into the Speed Force with the Flash mounted to the hood,
Mm-hmm.
and he fuses. He like absorb. I don't. I think he absorbs all the Speed Force. He absorbs the Flash. Maybe he even absorbs the Batmobile because he was in the damn Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, he's what you see there. He calls himself the Red Death, and it's Batman Flash hybrid. And but he's a villain. He like mass murders. In a blink of an eye because he's going that fast.
Isn't that the same kind of thing that happened with the Bat Who Laughs? Like, wasn't didn't he also lose people and then he turned bad? And then there's like other
The
versions
Batman
of there's like in Batman Metal, aren't the multiple Batmans that show up all some sort of they all have the same
Yeah.
trigger point that like their people died and then they turned.
Well, there's different ones. Again, I want now that I have free time, because by the way, I don't know if I told you, but I know I told you this part, but for anybody else who listens somewhat regularly and has heard me bitch about this for the last few years, the dreaded test is done, and not only that, but I passed, so yay. Uh, but now the real point of mentioning this, I can actually read comics that I've wanted to read, and it's been out for so long I can get the
Trade.
trades and just read it all through and review it.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I read online as it was happening, the Dark Multiverse, yeah, like it's basically evil Batman, but it's different trigger points. Like the Batman Who Laughs, he actually, the Joker died. I don't remember if it was by his hand or not. And when the Joker died, he got exposed to some toxin that the Joker had like inside him,
Mm-hmm.
and that corrupted him and turned him into the Batman Who Laughs. And it's an evil Batman who's been Jokerized basically, and he turned like the Robins into like evil like Robin's running around in like still like the old pixie boot and short uniform. He kills the entire Justice League because he's still Batman. He's just evil now. Yeah. Uh, there's a Batman who Superman went rogue and he infected himself with this Doomsday virus. So he's basically a Doomsday Batman hybrid,
Oh, I saw
and
that
he just
figure.
yeah. Or there's one. I think there's one where like he becomes a Green Lantern,
Yep.
but it's a twisted evil version of the Green Lantern, and I'm sure there's a whole ton more that I can't even think of. Uh, but yeah, that's a whole dark multiverse thing, and then like Dark Knight's Metal ended it all. Like that was the big thing
Mm-hmm.
that birthed the whole. I think they rebooted the universe again somehow. So
Because
they're
why not?
like much like DC's movie universe, their comic universe gets rebooted a little too often for my taste ever since the New 52.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's funny.
but
A lot of what you were talking about, I only knew because of the toys. Like in going toy hunting, and even like the Doomsday one, I bought it back when I was just buying everything because I was freaking crazy. And I
yeah,
somebody was talking about it in another video, and I was like, "Wait, did they say that was Batman?" And then I grabbed the figure and I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, there's a bat symbol on his chest." And I
Yeah.
had no idea that each one of these characters was like, an evil Batman, essentially.
Hmm. And like I almost want to say it kind of ties in to Grant Morrison, because I feel like the in R.I.P. Batman R.I.P. I feel like there was like mention of a bat god called Barbatos or something.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Batman Who Laughs transformed himself into that or something. But again, I didn't read the books yet, so I could be completely pulling that out of my bottom.
That happens from time to time.
It does happen, and I apologize because I'm looking in the chat, and I believe our mutual acquaintance, Mr. Waller, is saying that he has a whole video about the Batman Who Laughs. So, oops, sorry, didn't mean to step on your toes.
I'm actually trying to find that one, but I can only see part of my screen because of all the windows I have up
For the show.
for the show. But if you guys have not done so, make sure you follow. By the way, I didn't see anybody else do this yet. Again, if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, all that stuff, put it in the comments. That way, everybody knows to follow you. You guys, we can all support each other. But Aaron Waller does God's work over at Nerdgenic, and one of his series is called The History Of, and you should definitely check it out. He's got a lot of good history ofs here, and even this one, The History of Scar. I was like, I knew of him but didn't know him, and then of course he debuts in She-Hulk, god awful show. I was just like, God damn.
And that was not the Scar. I think I
No.
read, Sal, did I borrow World War Hulk? I feel like I borrowed Planet Hulk and World War Hulk from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Scar I met in those issues, not the guy that we saw at the end of She-Hulk.
No, not at all. So yeah, definitely check this out. The other thing too here, he has a lot of history ofs where there are characters that have been hinted at that may not fully be released yet, but best believe as the phases continue, they're going to be playing a role in a lot of that stuff. Especially like Hercules here, who was at the end of Thor: Love and Thunder. So check out Nerdgenic for sure.